Hey guys, Mom Bear Prepping, Tasha. So today I'm bringing you something that we're actually prepping right now. I mean, we typically prep this stuff anyway, but it just made me think of, hey, all the reasons why it's super important to add liquor to your preps. Okay, so I'm just going to run down all the reasons why liquor is so important for preps, and some of the stuff I'm sure you've heard of before, but I just want to go through it, and it kind of explains why me and my family are prepping liquor, and we're even prepping some liquors that like you couldn't get me to drink, at all, right? But I kind of just want to walk you through some things so you can understand it, because even if you don't drink, it can be very beneficial to stacking and keeping some sort of level of liquor, okay? So let's get into this without any further ado. Okay, so the number one reason I put was for the obvious, which is morale reasons, right? Obviously, if you drink liquor, right, this is a vice. This is a feel good, right? This is something that you would want to make sure that you have, because you want to continue to have the things that you have now, right? Obviously, I would not say if you're any kind of recovering alcoholic, or you know that you have an issue, then this is a prep that obviously you just might not be able to keep in your home, okay? But if that's not a problem for you and you're able to keep it, having this around just for a basic morale booster. Maybe you guys just went through something pretty heavy. It's a very nice calming. People say all the time they have a rough day, whatever, and then they just kind of calm down with a nice small glass of something, right? So morale reasons, and just for good things that happen, right? To celebrate, just normal reasons why we typically would drink any kind of liquor, right? So if hey, you'd like to have some bottles of champagne put away for a birthday toast or something like that, right? You're gonna just be thinking about it in your morale, and be thinking about what you drink, right? Don't be prepping a bunch of liquor that you will never drink, okay? Now, if you have a problem and that's the way you combat it, by getting stuff that you'd never drink, okay, I could see that, okay? All right, the number two thing is medicinal reasons. So medical, right? There's all types of reasons or things that you can use liquor for. One is tinctures, which is just basically taking some form of liquor and adding fresh herbs to it. Specific herbs that, let's say, for example, you have an herb that is a natural antibiotic. You could add it to some liquor, put it in a little pint jar, and then just keep it, okay? And then that later can be added to, say somebody is injured, is sick, is fighting an infection. You could then add that tincture to, say, a hot tea or something like that, okay, to help somebody, or make a salve later, or some kind of paste or something later medically that you need to use that tincture for, okay? Liquor has been used for all types of things over the centuries, for minor things, right? Especially when you're fighting any kind of infection in your throat, in your mouth. It's good for toothaches, just rubbing a little bit on a toothache. Mamas back in the day used to rub that on babies' mouths just if they had a toothache, just to numb the area a little bit, okay? So it's a natural sore throat, flu, immune system. I'm not saying you have to get wasted on a bottle, but it is a good source for some of your basic medicinal reasons, okay? In that same realm, it can be used as a topical antiseptic, and it could also be used just to disinfect in general, okay? Now, a lot of people right from the movies will state like, hey, yeah, I see them pour the liquor on a wound and to disinfect it, and then they'll let the person that's bleeding out, drink all of this liquor so that they can kind of get numb because they're about to do something on them, right? Okay, I would agree that, yeah, liquor, if you were about to chop off my arm or do something crazy, yeah, I'm going to want a shot of liquor, but just be very careful, because alcohol is a natural blood thinner. And so if somebody's bleeding out, maybe not necessarily the best thing to do. So just keep that in mind when you're doing stuff. Number three reason is it just a sanitizer, as a cleaner, okay? It's an alcohol. It will clean things, okay? Sanitize things, sterilize stuff. So let's say you were about to do some kind of medical procedure on somebody, even something as small as doing a little suture to just close up a little wound or something. I mean, you need to make sure that you're sterilizing all the items that you're going to use, the needle and anything else you're going to use, okay? So it's a good sterilization. It's a good sanitizer. You can add liquor to, like, aloe gel and make some sort of actual sanitizer. So just keep in mind it has these medicinal properties, but also has these cleaning properties that are really good for different things that you might be doing, okay? Fourth thing is for cooking. So the obvious is it is a way to preserve herbs, okay? We talked about tinctures specifically, but let's just say you put some just random herb in there. You could, that is a way to preserve herbs. You could, you can actually use Everclear and other white liquor like that as a cooking fuel. So a very clean way to cook food in your, there's a couple different ways you can cook cleanly in your home, and burning alcohol is one of those ways. So you can get you a little stove that has a little piece that you can pour liquor into, light that off, and you can actually, as long as you have some sort of burner over it, you can cook over, you can use your liquor, your Everclear, to actually cook, okay, in a downgraded situation. So it's another alternate fuel that could be used for cooking. Now there's a couple other things I'd probably use before that, but we won't get into that this video, but just to let you know, that's a very good way, an option to be able to cook stuff off grid, okay? Let's see. There's also cooking wise, over the years, I've seen great recipes for like brandied cherries, brandied peaches, like that type of stuff. So, I mean, there's all types of recipes that you can make that would be a great thing. Let's just say you had some brandied cherries and you could either jar them up or you could freeze some of them, and it could be for a hot day. You have a nice, a few of those brandied cherries in your drink. I mean, just another alternative for kind of the morale booster cooking type scenario option, okay? Next thing is bartering. So bartering, what I would say is with bartering, you're going to be wanting very much smaller versions, okay? So a lot of people, they go and they get the little airplane, the little small bottles from the liquor store, and they prep those to be able to barter, to have the ability to be able to have something liquor-wise that they could barter later, okay? What you're not going to want to do is just prep a ton of regular sized bottles to prep, or to barter. That could be a bartering item, especially if you're trying to get something significant. But I would say have options of different sizes, okay? They've got the little airplane size, they've got the more like canteen size, and then obviously the much bigger bottles. Glass stuff's gonna last in glass is better, but obviously the plastic is fine. I mean, you're typically not gonna be keeping liquor for 20, 30 years. So just, there's all different types of options. And if you're thinking about it in a bartering type of mentality, I would be thinking about options then. Depending on what I'm trying to get for said liquor, okay? And then the last thing I have is defense, okay? So again, we just said it could be lit on fire, right? That we could use it for a cooking fuel. So again, defense-wise, you could then use it also for Molotovs and different other things that you might need to make you some homemade stuff, okay? I definitely want to say prep it just for that. I would definitely say add it to your preps because even if you are a gentle soul and you're not really the fighting type, this has so many very valuable things that it can be used for that it is just one of those preps that I would have it, okay? At a minimum, even if you don't drink it, you don't plan on making anything defensive with it, but just for the being able to have it as an alternate cook fuel, and then also for the medicinal properties that it has that could aid in different things, that's very, very important. If somebody gets hurt and being able to disinfect, yes, if you have a great, robust medical kit, that's awesome. But if you're not a huge drinker, just get a few bottles and have some of this with your medical preps as part of your medical preps, right? And then you use it for that, okay? And liquor, I haven't really seen a huge influx as far as inflation. So if you don't have this and this is something that you want to get added to your preps, I would get it today. Vodka and the Everclear and the stuff that can actually be used for cooking fuel and things like that, that stuff has actually always been very, very cheap. It's not very expensive at all, okay? And a lot of the rums are not cheap. I mean, even some whiskeys, unless you're getting top shelf, there's a lot of stuff that's very, very affordable that you could easily, get some stuff added to your preps without breaking the bank, okay? So I would love to hear in the comments below what I missed, what you guys have use either liquor for, or some other type of prep area that I missed that you could use liquor for. I'm sure my seasoned preppers are going to be adding, you know, some good comments. So make sure you guys read everything so we can teach each other and get this added to your preps, okay? Because it's one of those very versatile items that could be used, you know, on a lot of different levels, okay? So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.